How do we fix The Mandalorian Season 3? I really wish I didn't have to make these last two videos. What is up, everyone? What is going on? My name is Matthew Langer, House of the Seahawks here. And just as said, we're going to be doing something a little bit differently today. We're going to be trying to fix The Mandalorian Season 3, because obviously the season had a ton of problems, though. I'll get into that in a little bit, though. Obviously, for those of you who just saw my Book of Boba Fett episode, video on how to fix it, though. Let me know if you guys agree with this, though. I have both of these shows connected, though, so obviously I would recommend watching Boba Fett first and then Mando, though. You can check out that video. Normally I would say right up there, but I don't know how to do that yet, though. We will get that figured out, though. But yeah, if you just type in House of the Seahawks, though, you will see my YouTube channel, and then you can find that video there. So yeah, but hey, I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, though. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, though. MatthewLinger. I will find ways to put links up, though. We're getting there. So yeah, so for The Mandalorian Season 3, this was a very frustrating season for me, because I wanted to love this season. I went into this season very excited, and I was kind of disappointed, but kind of not. Once again, I liked the story. I just didn't like the writing, and I just didn't like the way it was told. I also felt like there were some episodes where I went, oh, that was pretty good. I like that, though, where episodes that made me go, oh, that was awesome. That was one of the best Mandalorian episodes. And then it just went to an episode that I was like, okay, wait, where are we going with this? Or episodes I was clearly not interested in. Episodes I clearly just didn't even care about very much. It just went from, oh, this is great. I don't know. This is amazing. Best Mandalorian episode. Underwhelming. It just went from that. And so, and I look back at the season, and I just look back at the season, and I just look at some of these episodes, and I go, you can skip like a third of these episodes. That's not good. That's not good if you're going to be doing that, though. And for The Mandalorian, since it has always been like side quest heavy, though, if you're going to do side quests, you have to make them matter. You can't make them... You can't just put Mando and Bo-Katan on a side quest and just make it be like, hey, it's about the droids. Is it ever going to come back? No. So, like, that's my thoughts. So, here we go. We're going to be trying to fix The Mandalorian Season 3. Oh, then also for some of you guys who are wondering, though, will I be doing the other two? Well, actually, the other 4 shows... No, because number one, I love the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. 3, I love Andor. That was one of the greatest things Disney Star Wars ever put out, though. And Obi-Wan Kenobi, I don't believe that needs to be fixed, though. That's not me saying that I liked it or I didn't like it, though. I'm just saying I just don't look at that and go, yeah, I know how to fix this, though. So I'm not going to be making a video for that, though. That's not me proclaiming my opinion on it, because I also know that can be a bit controversial, though. But we're just going to go with that, though. But no matter what, though, Obi-Wan Kenobi is not my least favorite Star Wars Disney Plus show. I just want to make that clear, whether that's me saying whether I loved it or I was disappointed by it, though. So let's get into The Mandalorian Season 3. And so Episode 1, this is another probably long episode, though. So Episode 1, Mando returns to his cult, though. Maybe he, like, saves that kid. So right away, big, awesome, epic scene, though. The apostate. You show him train with the Darksaber, though. Maybe he even fights, not Pre Vizsla, Jon Favreau's Mandalorian character. Maybe have them fight, though. And then, of course, he has to do the, he has to say the line again, this is the way. Obviously, he took his helmet off, though, so he gets turned away by his clan. But in this scenario, though, he's lost the 2 most important things that are meant to him. Grogu and his family of Mandalorians. They've turned away. But in this scenario, he's like, hey, how can I be redeemed? And they're just like, well, if you want to be redeemed, you got to go to the Mines of Mandalore. But he's like, well, the mines have been destroyed. He's like, sorry, you're not a Mandalorian anymore. But he's so determined to redeem himself that he's like, I'm going to go to Mandalore anyway. But they all laughing and they're like, yeah, dude, you're crazy. That planet's dead. You're gonna die. They're basically like, yeah, we're never gonna see you again. And so he's like, I'm gonna give you proof. I'm gonna give you the water, and then plus if I return, that means that I lived. So yeah, they laugh him off. They're like, yeah, no. So then Mando starts preparing for this journey he's gonna go on. He goes to Tatooine right off the bat because he needs a ship. Oh, here we go. Did he need a ship in Boba Fett? No, he didn't. Yeah. Probably don't. Yeah, probably take out maybe the fact that maybe the other lady maybe fucked a Jawa though. Let's not put that in there though. Cut a whole bunch of that out though. I mean, maybe have him go like Breggers Canyon though to make you like, oh, this is cool. I understand these references though. And so yeah, he makes a ship. He goes, hey, I like it, thank you. Takes R5, the droid that kind of fell apart though. Goes to Navarro. Meets up with Kreef Karga. Just I don't know. Just basically be like, hey, like I'm here to see an old friend. Maybe I'm here like gather like need to gather some guys up. And along the way, he meets the pirates. Shoots the pirates. You have the chase scene where he meet the green mop guy. Goes to see Bo. Actually, wait. Right before we go to that though, so he escapes. And the pirates, I feel like they kind of blew this plot line. Because to me, the pirates, I thought they were going to set up the pirates as like extra tension though. Because like, for example, okay, sorry, spoiler, Stranger Things Season 4, Jason. He's built up as this character that like doesn't know what's going on. He comes up with his own scenario, and when he shows up in the final episode, he ruins everything. And it just makes you hate him even more. But it's a layer of tension. It makes the story better. Because if it wasn't him, Lucas would just be sitting around going, do. Oh. Holy cow, made a deal with God. Oh, there we go, we won. Like, easy. What's something that can make things more tense? Another character that shows up at the absolute wrong time. And it's something so simple. Mando, pew pew pew, shot his guys. That pirate wants revenge. It makes sense. It's not complex. It's not like super complicated though. It's not even something that you need like an entire episode to like talk about though. Be like, why does pirates hate Mando? It's like, no, he shot his guys and that was it. Pretty simple. So then Mando goes to Bo-Katan, and he's like, hey, I'm here to join your quest for Mandalore. She's like, nope, they all turned away. Have that go down. And like once again, Bo-Katan laughs him off. Like, yeah, dude, you're gonna die. And he's like, I'm going to Mandalore because I don't have anything left. Grogu's gone, and my clan is now turning away. But I can be redeemed if I bathe in the waters of Mandalore. So she like, yeah, goodbye, Din Djarin, you're gonna die. So end that episode right there. This episode, probably about an hour to an hour and 5 minutes. Something like that though. It sets up everything that we're gonna get into though. And more. So for me, this is a pretty good premiere episode. It cliffhangers stuff from the Mandalorian season 2. In this scenario, you don't even really need to watch the Book of Boba Fett though. He was just around there for the side quest though, and I don't know. You get some cool action scenes, cool chases right on top of it though. And it's like an hour long, so it's not like they were kind of rushing through 30 minutes. Actually, I didn't really feel like the premiere episode was rushed. I was like, it was good, but it wasn't great. So then you have episode 2, and I'm going to keep this episode. I'm not going to touch this episode. I liked the fact that he went to Mandalore right off the bat. Honestly, if this season was just like him just going on side quests, be like, hey, how do I get to Mandalore? Oh, I'll help you get to Mandalore if you help me do this one thing. Or I know someone who's going to get, because finding a planet is a lot easier than finding a particular person. So the fact that they did that in the Mandalorian season 2, I didn't mind that very much. Yes, is the side quest heavy? Absolutely. But to me, it makes sense. So the fact that he goes to Mandalore right off the bat, I was like, thank you. Thank you. Let's not waste our time with this. So yeah, I'm going to keep this episode, which means the episode's going to be about 44 minutes. But instead of Grogu rescuing Mando, have R5. Because, I mean, I'll get more into this later. But something that also frustrated me is that, number one, it just as I said, this entire season was completely up and down. It also took a little while for the plot to kick in, though. And also, as I was watching the season, I was realizing, I'm like, wait, what's Grogu doing? And there were multiple times I forgot Grogu was around. If I'm forgetting about Grogu, that's bad. That's not a good thing. That's really bad. And like, as I look through the rest of the season, I'm like, Grogu didn't even really do anything. So that's why I'm like, so that's why I came up with this idea to like combine the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian, basically to be like, hey, here we go. This is a scenario where both these shows can work. And I've been wanting to do the Book of Boba Fett video for a while though, but I was a little hesitant doing it because I was like, I want to see the Mandalorian season 2 first. Because maybe Grogu has like a big part in this season. Nope, he doesn't. He doesn't really have a big part though. But we're gonna fix that though. And maybe they will reshoot it, though, with me writing and directing, because I'm probably be better than the people actually doing it right now. But they don't even know who I am, so whatever. So, yes, R5 gets Bo-Katan, Mando gets redeemed, Bo-Katan accidentally gets redeemed. End the episode right there. Episode 3, I'm also going to keep this one, but we're going to add on a little bit more. So obviously have big chase scene right off the bat. This chase scene was awesome. And then we go to Coruscant. And I know a lot of people didn't really care for this episode. I knew someone in particular. He was like, oh, that episode was boring. I did not like that episode. Excluding the chase scene. He liked the chase scene. He didn't like anything else. And for me, I thought it was kind of a cool idea to kind of like dive into like the Republic a little bit though. Because because something that I found very intriguing though is that the Republic isn't perfect. Because the thing that people didn't like about sorry, my nose is itching. Because something that people didn't like about the Empire though, like I'm talking about people in Star Wars though, not the audience going like, oh, they're the bad guys though. But basically be like, the characters in Star Wars, they didn't like the Empire because they were too hard, they were too forceful. It was oh, you don't agree with us? Pew, we're gonna shoot you. So when you knock out a federal government, how do you replace that? And something that you see in this episode is that they have the same views, but it's more so like, oh, we're just being nicer about it. So when you have that scientist being like, hey, wait, what's this good technology lying around? The guy behind him's like, oh, yeah, that, and he's like, oh yeah, that's Imperial stuff. And he's like, I can use it for good things. And he's like, we shouldn't be talking about this. Like, it makes him very afraid. So the fact that they put the scientists like on this big journey, though, to ultimately betray the Republic, though, I was starting to get an idea about what was going on. And I've had a conversation with one of my friends of mine, and I even point out where I'm like, yeah, the spy lady was kind of manipulating him into it. And he was like, oh yeah, that's right, she didn't even really need it. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, but if there's a bigger twist to it, instead of like, oh, she's evil, the episode means more. And it makes it better. So in this scenario, like, spy lady, I can't remember her name, she gets the cloning technology, gives it to one of the white Mandalorians that were guarding Moff Gideon later, and basically says like, hey, get this to Moff Gideon, or like, hey, it's time to break Moff Gideon. Something involving Moff Gideon. Because I feel like the only twist that they give was like, yeah, she's evil. And I'm like, yeah, I knew that. That's what I was predicting. I knew this was coming. I've seen this 1,000 times. I know how this goes. It's very generic. Not saying that this was a bad episode, but I was like, I know where this is going. Can you make it more of an impact? Make it matter more. Because I look at this episode now, and I'm like, you can skip it. Like, skip all the Coruscant stuff. It doesn't matter. It was intriguing at first. When you look at the rest of the season, it doesn't age well. Because you realize, yeah, this episode doesn't matter at all. Like, that's where I just go, What are they thinking? If you're going to do an episode like this, though, you need to make it matter. That's the problem. So she gives it to the White Mandalorian, basically like, hey, get this to Moff Gideon. Once again, that's progressing the plot along. That makes all that matter. And plus, since she's not a doctor, since she doesn't have clearance for it, probably doesn't even know the technology, though. We need someone to help. Hey, this scientist guy that helped earlier with Moff Gideon, we're going to manipulate him into taking it. Oh, thank you very much. We manipulated you. Here you go, Moff Gideon. I'm evil. Perfect. It matters. And I will make it matter later on. And then your final scene, Mando gets back with Bo-Katan to his like little cult thing. They all seem surprised. Well, you won't see their surprise, but they're like, you're still alive? And he's like, yep, I got the water. Oh, he's right. First of all, welcome back. Second of all, hey, I guess Mandalore's good to live on now. Maybe we should go reclaim it. Wait. It's kind of dangerous there. Should probably train. You're right. Let's train. End episode. Now, the plot is fully kicked into gear. You need the first 2 episodes to realize, hey, the planet's good to live on because the reason why they've been living in the shadows, they're like, they think it's dead. So when Mando goes there, redeems himself, they're like, oh snap, I guess it's good to live. On. But they're like, we want to train first because of that monster that attacked Mando. Makes it matter. Makes the plot kick in. So, episode 4. Let's keep the Mando storyline. He's training, though. Maybe we side quest to rescue the kid. Though, we find out it's Jon Favreau's son. Okay. And I think that episode on its own, it was okay. Just like I said, this is another one that I was just not interested in because I was like, well, what does this matter? Though, the fact that they're training is like, oh, okay, this is a cool idea. Something else I want to add on top of it. This is the perfect opportunity to bring in Luke and Grogu. This is your other episode where Luke trains with Grogu in the background. You can create a mystery where he like shows the flashbacks of like have that entire Luke and Grogu scene in this episode. Even have Ahsoka show up. Because then, therefore, you get to have another cameo. It's like, oh my gosh, Luke is meeting Ahsoka. I mean, would all this over trump the Mando storyline? Oh, absolutely. But second of all, we're preparing for stuff. That post-credit scene that I said about for the Book of Boba Fett, though, now it's in The Mandalorian Season 3. Perfect. Or at least this is what I think. This is all my opinion. If you don't agree with anything, I don't know, if you're listening to this and going, man, this is worse than The Mandalorian Season 3 and what we actually got, fine. For me, I love this. I think this is really good. So this is another episode, 45 to 50 minutes. Episode 5, we're going to keep this. I thought this episode was really, really good because it connected a couple of previous episodes. It had some great action, though. It also progressed the plot forward, though, where at the end of the episode, they're like, hey, it's time to reclaim Mandalore. And I was like, oh, this is what we're getting to. And then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, Moff Gideon broke out. Oh, no, that's not good. It progressed the plot. So now, all of a sudden, now since the last 2 episodes have been improved, though, well, first of all, the Mandalorian shard, you know it's a white Mandalorian. The Republic guys don't know that. Yikes. Not very good. So, yeah. So, the original episode was 43 minutes. This one, I'm also going to keep it 43 minutes. I'm not touching this episode. Just as I thought this episode was fantastic. And then you even have like a nice little cameo in there with Zeb coming in. The CGI looks very good on him, which that was something I was very surprised with. Some of the VFX on some of these shows have not been looking very good. Secret Invasion of She-Hulk. Oh, I think I have a cold. No, I don't. I'm fine. So, yeah. So, episode 6. This is my least favorite episode of the entire Mandalorian show because, well, we'll get into that, though. So, right off the bat, You have this Romeo and Juliet storyline where I don't know. It's a corn. I just remembered though. Where like you have like two corns being like oh actually no, it was a corn and like and like one of the Akbars. They're like I love you. It's like, yeah, right off the bat, that was kind of weird, though. Right off the bat, that didn't really give me the best vibe of the show. So maybe fix that a little bit, though, where instead of that, basically be like, hey, we're here to bring like the corn lady back. So, but like, so yeah, so she goes willingly, basically show like, hey, these other Mandalorians, they're still around. And so yeah, so we kick it off, and right away, if you want to have Jack Black and Lizzo show up, okay, fine. Nice little fun cameos though, but no side quest. That side quest didn't matter. It was boring. It honestly didn't even make any sense though, and I just have absolutely no interest in rewatching it though, because just as I said, if you're gonna do a side quest, make it matter. Okay, I know the episode 4 side quest probably didn't matter very much though, but we have Luke and Grogu in it. We're going to get into that in a little bit. So Bo-Katan and Mando meet up with the other Mandalorians. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. So basically, like they go see Jack Black and Lizzo, and they're like, hey, we're looking for Mandalorians, and instead of them going, oh, we'll show you where the Mandalorians are if you help us with this first, instead make it be like, oh, you want to know where the other Mandalorians are? They're just right out there. Okay, bye. Like why is it like, hey, we'll tell you where this person is if you do this first? It's like, I don't know, it just didn't even make any sense like in that particular moment. So then you have Bo-Katan meeting up with the other Mandalorians, and so first of all you have the guy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He fights Bo-Katan, and they fight for a little bit, but then ultimately they're like, hey, you need the Darksaber back. Instead of Mando just going, oh, here you go, you beat, hey, here you go, you beat me. Actually, maybe have him try to do that though, because like just that Mando has no interest in ruling though. Basically, have Mando be like, here you go. It's like, wait, I can't. We have to win you in combat. It's like, oh, okay. He gives her the spear. He steals the spear in this scenario. Maybe he uses it a little bit, though. Probably not very much in this scenario, though. So he gives it to her. And maybe make Mando kind of like play around a little bit where it's like, oh no, I lost. Like, don't have it like that, though. Maybe have it something like that. But like maybe have him like establish the rules a little bit, though. Or maybe be like, hey, guess what? We'll fight tomorrow. Maybe have like conversations where like Bo-Katan's like talk with Amanda, like, hey, it doesn't have to be to the death. All it has to do is be like, hey, like, give me a fair fight. He's like, okay, fine, I'll give you a fair fight. I'll give it my all. And so have him have an epic fight. Like, just once again, another fight where you just go all out. Because something that also disappointed me is the fact that we didn't really get to see like a fight with the Darksaber in that scenario. Because one of my favorite episodes of the Clone Wars, one of my favorite fights in Star Wars, is Darth Maul versus Pre Vizsla. I remember when I first saw that episode, I mean, I'm just watching them go off, and I was like, wow, they're still fighting. This is a really good fight. Oh, wow, they're still going. This fight's amazing. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite fights in the Clone Wars. We don't get that. It's basically just, oh, the monster disarmed me. Here you go. It's yours. Have an epic fight. At least over 5 minutes. Like, have them have a cool moves, though. Like, they're going off. Like, have them, like, use their gadgets and stuff. Go all out. But in the end, Bo wins. Obviously, do not kill Mando. Basically, have them just be like, hey, I yield. But basically be like, Bo just fought better. She wins over the Darksaber. All the other Mandalorians are like, hey, we'll follow you to Mandalore. You are now the new leader of Mandalore. Woohoo! Let's go meet up with the other Mandalorians, and let's meet up with the other Mandalorians, and we'll go to Mandalore. Final scene, not a post-credit scene, final scene. Grogu has a vision. Oh no, the Mandalorians are in trouble on Mandalore. He wants to go rescue them. Some of the Empire Strikes Back. If there's anyone who could relate to this, it would be Luke Skywalker. Luke tries to talk him out of not going. But Grogu doesn't listen, and without Luke knowing, he takes off. End episode right there. So now all of a sudden you're a little nervous about next episode because it's like, oh no, they're about to go to Mandalore. Uh-oh. And now Grogu's taken off. Remember what I said in episode 4? Luke and Grogu establishing we're still in the show. They're training. Also, give Grogu a lightsaber. I want to see Grogu with a lightsaber. Probably not going to see it, though. Like, progressing the plot forward. It's a slower episode, but it's an episode that you need for this to work. So this episode, 45 to 50 minutes. And episode 7... this was my favorite episode, so we will not touch it, though, for clear and obvious reasons. Number one, Moff Gideon is back. Second of all, you have, like, a heroic sacrifice, though. Obviously, don't give Grogu the IG-11 thing. Honestly, I didn't even really like the idea of them bringing IG-11 back. I feel like that kind of, like, cut the tension of his sacrifice, though. And then basically be like, hey, he blew up, and then, hey, we found all of his parts. Okay, good. I mean, good for you. I don't know how you did that, but... hey, congratulations. So, but then I think something else that makes this better is now you know Grogu's coming. You know Grogu's coming. So, in this scenario now, where like just as said, actually, just as season 2 proved, you kind of had a feeling, hey, we're going to go rescue Grogu, but we don't know Luke's coming. This time you know Grogu's coming. And you know instantly that I'm not stupid enough to go, Grogu and Mando won't meet. Or like, we'll kill Mando or we'll kill Grogu right before they meet. No. I'm not that dumb. I can be dumb sometimes. I'm not that dumb. So right away, you know that's coming. Now you're really excited, and you know they're in trouble now. Mando's captured. Jon Favreau's Mandalorian character is dead. Moff Gideon has taken over Mandalore. Uh-oh. Bad. Not good, but Grogu's coming. You know he's going to come and save the day. And you know him and Mando are going to meet. That is a great way to go into a final episode, and everything that I've been setting up for all 7 of these episodes are about to get paid off in this battle again. Why can't these writers know that? Yeah, I'm getting quite frustrated about this. So episode 8, opening scene, you have the pirate that survived. Remember, he left. And Grogu show up at like the exact same time. Don't have them meet, or basically be like pass each other's way. So right away you know the pirate's like, oh great. Yikes, this guy's back, and it's like, oh, like don't hurt Grogu, like they go their own ways. But just as I said about the pirate though, he felt like the perfect tension getter. Where he doesn't care about them reclaiming Mandalore. He doesn't care about Moff Gideon. He doesn't care about anything that's going on. All he wants to kill Mando because he killed out some of his other pirate friends. It's simple, and you could probably throw him in as tension. So yeah, that's the way it opens. That's the way it opens. So right away you're like, oh no, this guy's back. Grogu's back. Yay! Like, don't kill him. Oh good, they're not gonna kill him. Opening scene, the return. Opening credit scene, the return. And so right after that, I think this would be a good time to show Pedro Pascal's face. We need Pedro Pascal. Oh, hang on. I know he was working on The Last of Us, though. He couldn't make it here, but come on. How do you not have... Come on. This would be the perfect time to show Pedro Pascal's face. Like, have them force Mando's helmet off. And I think another thing that'd be cool is that once they take his helmet off, like maybe Moff Gideon does it himself. Actually, yeah, make Moff Gideon do it, but then he ends up like piecing out of the room later. But then also like show also show Mando fight with his helmet off. It's just another way to have cool action, and I'm sure you could easily find a way to have Pedro in the Mandalorian suit fighting the other white Mandalorians. I think it'd be pretty easy. I think it'd be pretty easy for you to do that though. And so, yeah, and so then as this is going on, Mando like breaks out, puts his helmet back on. Basically, he basically was like, "Hey, I need to redeem myself again." Mando starts going through the Imperial corridor, and he finds some Moff Gideon clones, kills every single one. Probably make him have him shoot every single one of them. Don't like the fact that Moff Gideon had a button to destroy all his clones. I don't know why he would have that though. So yeah, he ends up shooting every single one of them. We'll get into that a little bit later. And then that's when Moff Gideon's like, "Oh my gosh, those were all my clones, all my Force clones!" Like, and right away right after that, you then have your Mando Moff Gideon fight. And around that time, the Star Destroyer, it's destroyed. It's crashing down. All your other Mandalorians, the white Mandalorians, and the regular ones they're going crazy right here. And then meanwhile, you have Mando and Moff Gideon on the ground fighting. Bo-Katan comes in with the Darksaber. Now she's gonna fight. Moff Gideon. And around this time, that's when the pirate shows up. He wants to kill Mando. He doesn't care about anything else going on. And then shortly after that, Grogu then comes around. You have this quick little glimpse of Mando and Grogu being like, "Oh," and they'd be like, "Oh, kid," and then the Praetorian guards, like Grogu lures Praetorian guards away from Mando. They go into the room, closed doors. So then, therefore, now you have the battle there with Grogu, like, I don't know, flipping around. It probably won't look very good, but he'll have a lightsaber though, fighting all these Praetorian guards. So now all of a sudden, Star Destroyer is coming in. It's going to destroy and kill everyone. Now you have a ticking clock. Mandalorians fighting up here. Your CGI battle. Then you have your hand-to-hand combat with Moff Gideon and Bo-Katan on the ground. Pew, 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 pew. You have the Pirate Mando. Pew, 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 pew. And you have Grogu in the other room. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 4 different, like, battles going on at the same time. Plus a ticking clock that's going to kill everyone. How is that not amazing? How is that not awesome? And then something to make tension a little bit more is maybe at one point Mando and the pirate are fighting, like fist-wise. He punches him back. He tries to go into the other room, and Moff Gideon's Moff Gideon's kind of free of Bo-Katan real quick. Lassos Mando, pulls him back. So right away you're like, "Oh my gosh, like, oh, I want them to meet so bad. Oh man, oh yes, he hit the pirate back. He's gonna go to Grogu. Oh no, Moff Gideon's pulling back." Like, tension, stakes. It gets you into it. So yeah, Bo keeps him distracting it. Mando goes into the room. He helps fight all the Praetorian guards with his spear. He's spinning around. He's doing cool moves. He ends up rescuing Grogu, and that's when you just pause for a little bit to have that reunion. Where this is where you can have Grogu jumping into his arms. Just have that meeting. It's probably emotional. It's probably gonna make people go like, "Oh man, that was so cute." Mando comes out holding Grogu. Pirate comes back up. What's a good way to make you hate the pirate even more? "You killed my guys. I'm gonna kill your kid." Pew pew. Obviously, do not do that. Do not kill Grogu. But like, that's a great way to make you hate this guy even more. He's so determined to get to Mando that he's willing to kill Grogu over it. And then this is the perfect time where I think you have like a 3 versus 2. You have Mando, Bo-Katan, and Grogu. They're all fighting. They're all fighting each other at the exact same time. That would be pretty freaking cool. That would be awesome. So, and And then I think around this time, Mando probably could get the idea to be like, hey, if we take off his Mandalorian armor, we could probably stab and kill him. So maybe next, maybe at one point, Mando rips his armor off while still fighting everyone else. Like, it's a big epic fight, tension stuff. Probably makes you all kind of mixed emotions. So ends up stabbing and killing the original Moff Gideon. The Moff Gideon that's been in the show for 3 seasons. Kill him, end him. And then the pirate is gonna die in the fire. The fact that Moff Gideon died in the fire, I don't know. I kind of wish, like, I actually kind of wish Mando was the one who killed Moff Gideon. Was the one who killed Moff Gideon, or like maybe like maybe like him and Bo-Katan, like just Mando steals the spear. He stabs and kills Moff Gideon, and then Bo stabs and kills him at the same time. Like maybe it's like the same time, like that'd be pretty satisfying. Oh, then also don't destroy the Darksaber. That to me was kind of weird, where it's like, oh, if you grip your lightsaber too hard, you might break it. Really? Like, man, if you're from the dark side, you probably have to like switch out your lightsabers all the time. Oh, I'm so dang it! I need another lightsaber now. I thought that was really stupid. Don't do that. But yeah, if we like punched a pirate like into the fire, though, that'd be a great way for him to die. Yeah, but then obviously don't have the pirate come back though, but just like he's just another layer of tension. And yeah, so the Mandalorian's a reclaimed Mandalore. And something else I thought they were setting up, though, I actually felt like there were multiple times where I felt like Grogu was like trying to talk a little bit. So I thought when Mando was like, "Hey, Grogu," he I want to take him on as a Mandalorian apprentice. He's not old enough to say the creed. I thought that would be the perfect time for him to be like, the way this is, something like that. And since Mando's never heard of it, though, it probably makes Mando even more emotional. And then also but then also in this scenario, Mando will have a chance to redeem himself again. But in the end, he chooses not to. He chooses not to say anything because earlier, remember, Bo walks both the ways, the way of the Mandalore, but she can also take her helmet off. Let's just have Mando follow that way. So now, therefore, we get to see more Pedro Pascal's face, and it's also him going, this isn't everything that I wanted. So I think that could be really cool. And so he decides to take him on as an apprentice. And one last little thing that could be cool is then Mando then goes into the bar where he meets up with that other guy that he met earlier, and he was like, hey, I want to help you kind of sniff out these other Imperial things going on in the galaxy. And maybe you can have like a quick little moment where like it felt weird where he just had absolutely no questions for him, where he was like, oh yeah, I'll recruit you, even though it was like, yeah, about that though, that is a no, because I think some of your guys just broke Moff Gideon out of jail. It's like, oh yeah, about that, white Mandalorians. Sorry. So just have something like that, but basically have him be like, hey, I'll help you sniff out the other Imperials. Where just as last episode, the surrounding Imperials with Moff Gideon, let's have him track those guys down. That could be very interesting. So we're teasing season 4 instead of just going side quests. And so he gets his little house. Maybe he takes his helmet off. Little scene where he's kicking back, relaxing, watching Grogu eat frogs. End the season right there. But your post-credit scene. reveal Moff Gideon still alive. A clone Moff Gideon. Yikes. That's pretty scary, isn't it? Sure is. What would be even more scarier is if he goes back to the spy lady and says, hey, I need more of that cloning technology because I want to make myself an army of Force clone Moff Gideons. Yikes. End the season right there. To me, that would have been amazing. This episode would be about 50 to 55 minutes, though. But I think something else that works here is that for me, when the Mandalorian season 3 ended, it ended in like such like a the end kind of a way that I don't even really know what happens in season 4. In this case, now we know a little bit more. There are 4 things you've teased. Number 1, Mando's going to be taking on the other Imperials. That could be interesting. Clone Force Moff Gideon still alive. You can easily tie that into that. The Imperial lady, along with the other scientist. And number 4, Luke doesn't know Grogu left. Maybe this is an opportunity to introduce more Jedi. Maybe this is an opportunity to, I don't know, have more Luke in his prime. That could be cool. And I'm sure you could take all 4 of those ideas and put that into season 4. So therefore, it's not just side quests. It's actually mattering to the story. Why couldn't they go down that route? I just have no idea. This season had potential to be great, and yet to me, it's just frustrating. But this is how the season went. I think it would have been pretty good. But hey, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, MATTHEWLEINININGER. In this, when I will be posting this, Ahsoka will actually be coming out in a couple of days, so hopefully I won't have to do this to Ahsoka, though, because, yeah, hopefully. But yeah, I'll see you guys here next time. See ya. Bye.